For centuries mankind has pondered the existence of ghosts. Some good evidence has surfaced over the years that do validate the existence of ghosts. What you are about to learn in this video is an actual account of not just one, but several ghosts, and the man has several witnesses that have not only seen the ghosts but actually interacted with the ghosts themselves. A few years ago, a famous female singer shocked the world when she confessed to having sex with a male ghost. An affair that went on for months. My friend, upon seeing that story on the news, turned to me and said, "I love stories about ghosts. I've seen some true ghost stories on the show Unsolved Mysteries. I do believe everything I see on that show, but come on. Do you believe that she actually has had sex with a male ghost every night for several months?" I replied to him, "I really can't say one way or another, but she is one of the most famous singers in the world, and it was a brave thing to do, coming out and admitting that to the world on national TV, because let's face it, nobody has more to lose than an actor or singer. If they just say one wrong thing, it can ruin their career and their lives. So I do believe she believes it to be true now. Years later, I do have an answer, and the answer is going to shock you. This man that had these true encounters with several ghosts has also had sex with a coop of his ghosts. I do realize that's easy to dismiss as hogwash or the rantings of a crazy man, but hold on. He has witnesses and a couple of neighbors that actually had sex with one of the ghosts as well. If you really want the truth, you have to have an open mind. You may have a ghost in your house too, and odds are you probably don't even know it. But what you learn in this video, if you watch it to the end, will tell you how to know if you have a ghost and what to do about it. As for the question, did that singer really have sex with a male ghost? I can't speak for her, but this man that has witnesses, including several neighbors that did interact with his ghosts, can say beyond the shadow of a doubt, I do believe she had sex with a male ghost. I was skeptical when my friend and I listened to her admit it on national TV, but now that it actually happened to me, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that she was telling the truth. Now that I had sex with a female ghost, it all makes sense now. The reason that she was willing to admit having sex with a ghost on national TV is because when you experience something that magical and awesome, it's like God put a built-in share button in our brains that as hard as you try to resist telling anyone about it, you have no choice. The desire to share something so incredible is too hard to ignore. Even though she was on the top 10 list of best-selling songs and risked being called a lunatic and losing the millions of fans following her, the desire to share that true ghost encounter is so hard to resist. You have to get it out and share it with the world, or it will eat at you every day for the rest of your lives. That being said, I think you owe it to yourself to watch this video, and here is why. You always see movies and books about true ghost stories that all claim to be true. There are some fakes out there, and that is a shame, because it is people like that who make it so hard for the people that are telling the truth to be believed. The reason you should watch this video is because you are going to be shocked by this next revelation. All those true stories like the Amityville Horror and other well-known ghost stories always depict evil and mischievous ghosts that make dishes and other objects fly through the air. Some ghosts attack people, and as seen on TV shows like Unsolved Mysteries, actually leave deep scratched in their skin. And as in the Amityville Horror, some ghosts actually get in a man's head and cause him to go insane and kill his entire family. But what you didn't know is, thanks to this man's actual account with his ghost, you are going to be shocked to learn there really are ghosts, but not all of them are bad ghosts. This man has several witnesses that have interacted with his ghosts, and they are, believe this or not, good ghosts. This man not only has several witnesses that have seen his ghosts and interacted with them, but he is willing to take a drug test, a lie detector test, and even let a well-known paranormal investigator meet his ghosts. The ghosts actually stay by his side 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They get on the city bus with him and go shopping with him, to the movie theaters with him, take walks to the park with him. There is even a little kitty cat ghost that lays beside him, and he pets the ghosty kitty as she licks him. Wait, I am just getting started. This man has been with one of his ghosts over 22 years, and has information that scientists would practically kill for. For instance, people always say they feel a real cold breeze of air when a ghost is near them or walks by. Believe this or not, as crazy as it sounds, his ghosts are warm-blooded just like him. about the same temperature, and I am sure if that female singer were asked about her ghost she would agree, her ghost was more than likely warm to the touch as well. But hold on, it gets even better yet. Keep in mind this man has several witnesses and is willing to take a lie detector test, but here's a cool fact. When the little kitty cat licks him, her tongue is moist and warm and he can feel her licking him on his chest or sometimes on his side through his shirt. If the world really wants to answer the age-old question, do ghosts really exist? There has never been a better opportunity than this right now. His ghosts don't talk. One of them did talk to him, and we'll get to that later in this video, but they answer his questions by rubbing his stomach or his side. If the answer to his question is yes, they rub him to let him know. If the answer is no, then they do not rub him. Though movies depict ghosts walking through walls, there have been a coup of times that his ghosts actually got caught in the blanket and once in a sheet, and he had to let them out. This was on accident, of course. He would never do anything to hurt his ghosts. We will tell you more about that later in this video as well. This true ghost story blows Romeo and Juliet away when it comes to a love story about pain and suffering and sacrifice, because after living in his home with these ghosts over 22 years, his landlord actually tried to murder him and illegally evicted him, and when he tried to say goodbye to his ghosts he couldn't muster up the courage to say goodbye to them. Here is what he wrote about the traumatic event, and when you read this you will be blown away. This is without a doubt the most beautiful love story ever told, and it really did happen. Here is what he wrote about that traumatizing day. When the time came to leave my trailer in the hands of a stranger, I walked in the bedroom to say one last goodbye to my magnificent Ghosty, whom had been the best part of my life for over 21 years. I tried to be strong for her and compose myself and reassure her that everything was going to be alright, but as I began to say goodbye to her I just couldn't do it. I broke down crying and said in tears to her, "I'm sorry Ghosty, I can't do this." I bolted off the bed and ran out of the room in tears. I once again tried to compose myself because I still had two more magnificent ghosts to say goodbye to in the living room. Cutie Pie and my gorgeous cool kitty, whom always laid with me on the couch watching TV day and night as I petted my kitty and massaged my cutie pie. I laid down on the couch and called to them, but again I just couldn't say goodbye to them. It was ripping my heart to shreds inside. Again I bolted off the couch and cried, saying, "I'm sorry babies, I just can't do this, I can't say goodbye." I walked towards the front door and stopped before walking out to compose myself, so the woman who bought my trailer and the people who had been helping us prepare to move the trailer to her house would not see me crying. Don't get me wrong, almost all of my neighbors knew that I had ghosts. Most of them were trying to take pictures of them through the windows, and 5 of my neighbors actually talked to my ghosts and interacted with them, but the woman who bought my trailer didn't know about them. I walked to the steps after wiping the tears from my eyes and walked outside as my heart tore to shreds, knowing that I would never see my gorgeous ghosts again. A small part of me was content knowing that when Pinky, the woman who bought my trailer, towed the trailer to her house, my ghosts would be safer and in good hands, because I knew that she was a good Christian woman, and the wicked neighbors that tried to kill me so they could have my trailer, and most importantly my ghosts inside it, would never be able to torture them again. You don't have to say it. I already know what you are thinking, and you're right, it does sound preposterous, like a movie straight out of Hollywood, but it is all true. Everything did happen exactly as I said, but don't feel bad. I probably would never believe it either had it not happened to me myself. Of course you don't have to take my word for it, just ask Danny Hood, the man that stayed in my trailer for 6 days when I was in the hospital almost dead, who said my gorgeous Ghosty woke him up every single night, 6 nights in a row. Or you could ask Eddie Taylor, who came out of the bedroom with his hair standing straight up as if he had put his finger in a light socket and his eyes wide open and bloodshot, who said, "Mother F*** you got ghosts," to which I replied, "Oh, I know," and he said, "Motherfuck, you have more than one ghost." And I replied, "I know, I have 3 ghosts," and he said, "Mother F***, don't you think that's something you should warn people about before letting them go back there to take a nap?" The bottom line is, after towing the trailer to Pinky's house, As we drove away I teared up and told my friend Jeff, well that's it, I will never see my ghosties again, but at least I know they are in good hands and out of that trailer park so those evil bastards can't torture them anymore. As we drove away I turned my head and looked at my trailer and my ghosties one last time as tears rolled down my cheeks, knowing that I would never see my babies again. I tried to stay calm and composed, but on the inside it was as if a tiger were inside my chest ripping my heart to shreds. Jeff and I were starving, we didn't get done setting up the trailer until after midnight, so we went to Jack on the Box and ate, drank a few screwdrivers and then I had him take me to a motel. I woke up that night after dreaming that my ghostie shook me awake like she had always done for over 20 years, only to realize it was just a dream, but it made me homesick and miss them even more, if it's even possible to miss them more than I already did. I did everything that I could think of to take my mind off of them, but to no avail. Watching TV didn't do the trick, so I left the motel and walked to Jeff's house and spent most of the day there. When he drove me to the motel I teared up a little bit and told him how much I missed my ghosties and told him I didn't know if I could go on without them. They were my everything, the only things that I loved in this world. He reassured me that I would get past it in time, though I knew he was wrong. Now, before I continue, there's something I need to tell you as you read on. I often say that what I am about to tell you blows Romeo and Juliet away, and it does. Romeo and Juliet pales in comparison to what you are about to read. This part is the most beautiful love story ever told. Only, unlike Romeo and Juliet, this is a true story and did actually happen. It took me forever to fall asleep the next night, and the fact that I didn't stop on the way to the motel to get something to drink like the screwdrivers we liked or some wine coolers made it even more painful. Later that night I had the same dream again about my ghostie shaking me awake like she had always done for years. Again I teared up and tried to go back to sleep, when suddenly I was shook again and I was wide awake, not dreaming, and I hadn't been drinking that night. That's when I came to realize that it was really happening and I exclaimed with a joy no man could measure, "Oh my God, ghostie, this is real, you're really here." At that moment I heard two giggles. It was Ghosty and my precious cutie pie giggling, and then cutie pie rubbed my belly with her hand and snuggled to me, and my gorgeous little cute kitty ran up to my chest and took her usual parking place under my man boob as I laid on my side and began licking my face. I tell you true, there is no joy greater than the joy I felt at that moment. There was no doubt in my mind that my ghosties were bound to that trailer and could never leave, but I was wrong. My magnificent ghosts had left the trailer and unbeknownst to me came with me and been with me the whole time. Here is how to know if you have a ghost. If you feel something touch you lightly, don't jump away, or freak out thinking it's a mouse or something. Be calm. You may feel a gentle touch on your shoulder, or on your stomach if you're laying down. Be calm. If you feel it, just talk calmly to it. Ask, are you a ghost? More in part